Lisa, I'm now. I'm gonna start in English.
Okay.
So then you can introduce yourself. Then you can switch to Portuguese. But it's a great pleasure to be here at Sats Conf in São Paulo with such an amazing person of our international community of Bitcoin. She knows many things about. Lots of things. She's since maybe the beginning. She's a friend of Satoshi Nakamoto for sure. And it's a great pleasure to having you here in our YouTube channel at Coinext. And Lisa, just tell us more about your relationship with Brazil. I know that Coinext is from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, and I know that you studied there. Is that true?
Yeah, I lived there for 3 months in 2007. My first time in Brazil. I really like it. Vega's great. It's a really great city. It has the best food in all of Brazil.
Oh, that's great to hear.
When I was in the university, I spent a lot of time studying Portuguese and coming to Brazil a lot. So it's actually before I learned how to program. Now I work on Lightning, and I've been working on Lightning for 4 years. Before I became a software developer, I was a Brazil studier.
Very nice. And did something in Brazil help you to become I would say a blockchain specialist? I would say change something in your life to put you inside this amazing industry which is nowadays crypto assets and Bitcoin?
No, that's a good question. I'm not sure you can draw like a direct link, but I definitely think that the time and experience I had in Brazil and meeting the people here made me really like going to conferences and meeting a lot of people. The way I came to Brazil in college was through this international student organization called ISEC.
I've been at ISEC as well, you know?
Yeah, oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I've been at ISEC during 2007.
Yeah.
And in Italy. I was studying economics in Italy, so therefore it's amazing to know.
The first internship, the reason I was in Brazil or in BH was for an internship with ISEC.
Oh, great, which company was that?
Eu trabalhei com...
Fala português super bem, pessoal. Fala pra gente em português, Lisa.
Então, eu trabalhei com uma ONG chamada de Rede Cidadã. Então, essa foi a minha primeira experiência no Brasil, fazendo esse trainee com Rede Cidadã em BH.
Que bacana, poxa. E isso, obviamente, acho que essa questão educacional, que você é super ativista e participa, né, mundo afora. A Lisa, você é originalmente do Texas, tá aqui no Brasil, participando do evento e realmente funde o conhecimento do Bitcoin, né, dos criptoativos, dessa revolução chamada blockchain a nível global. Lisa, you found a bug in the header, right? I would like you to speak a little bit more. How did you do that? When was that? And how did you find that? And how you became so famous about like trying to fix this issue at the Bitcoin network? Let us know about that.
Yeah. So when I started getting into Bitcoin as a technical thing in 2018, so 4 years ago, and strangely enough, I had a job working on Bitcoin before I really knew much about Bitcoin. I was working at a large custodial wallet company. So I was learning about Bitcoin. And one of the ways that you learn about Bitcoin is you read a book by Andreas, Mastering Bitcoin. It's really well-known book. And as I was reading it, I realized that the block header had a problem. So I was reading a book and it describes the protocol. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to work. It's going to stop working. I thought it was in 2038, which is soon.
2013?
2038.
2038 seria o problema que a rede automática, quer dizer, com aquele bug, a gente teria um problema na rede do Bitcoin em 2038. Quando que você leu isso no Mastering Bitcoin e você identificou? Que ano foi isso?
Foi 2018. Então, eu achei que tivemos, 20 anos para melhorar, né? Então, não foi super, como você diz, não foi um problema de hoje, mas daqui no futuro vai ser problema. Então... Eu mandei um e-mail para um rapaz que talvez melhor explicar em inglês, porque...
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. But, yeah, so I found this problem, and I sent an email to someone. I started doing some research on my own, like, how would you fix it? I'm brand new to Bitcoin, I don't know anything. And it's like, oh, well, this is an interesting bug. It's not a really pressing bug. How would you fix it, right? So I started doing a research project on how to fix this problem that I had found, or just identified, I should say. And one of the things that led me to is sending an email to someone who had written a BIP that had to do with the block header. And so I sent them an email being like, hey, I found this problem. Is it a problem? Is someone working on it? And then promptly forgot about it for a couple months. And then eventually he got back to me and was like, no, actually, this won't be a problem for Bitcoin until the year 2108. So we have about 70 more years than I thought. So it's a real problem, but we have a little time. We have a little bit of time to fix it. And Bitcoin, Bitcoin has to survive for 90 years for it to be worth fixing to some extent. So yeah, but that's how I got into Bitcoin, and it, at least at the protocol level. And the person I ended up emailing wrote me back a couple months later, and it turned out it was Rusty Russell, who is one of the lead authors on the Lightning Spec, and who was looking to hire someone to work on the Lightning Spec. And he's like, well, you clearly know protocols, so maybe you should come work with us. So that's how I ended up working on Lightning in 2018.
Amazing. And tell us more about the Lightning Network. How did this project started? How it is today? I know. As far as we know, the Lightning Network, it's something, guys. It's a network that will allow Bitcoin to be used as for micropayments. Let's put it this way. It's going to be something very fast to be checked, to be validated into the network, every transaction. So I would love to hear from yourself, Lisa. How is the status of this amazing project, and how did it start?
Yeah, so Lightning came